Hey, what's up everyone? This is RamonWolf1485 here, coming to you from my room, as usual. Anyways, moving on. I know it's been a while since my last video, but it was between school and homework and work. Things get kind of hectic pretty easily. Yeah. As if you didn't already know, I do now have a job. Contain your enthusiasm. Yes, I have a job. I work at a media store. Now, what does that entail? Well, we sell DVDs, music, games, and game systems. And by games, I mean any type of games you can think of. Whether it be for the original Atari all the way up to the modern Xbox One and PS4. Anyways, this video today is going to be a few recent crown jewel finds I have gotten recently, spanning mostly across game systems. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so I just got in the mail today, got a couple GameCube games I've been not really hunting for. Well, one of them I've been hunting for, the other one was kind of an impulse buy, and I'm like, ooh, $2.50? Alright, it's fine with me. Bid, and nobody else bid on it. So let's start with that. First up, we have Mario Kart Double Dash. Now, this is a pretty, not rare game, but to me it's the best Mario Kart they ever made. I mean, you get to play as two characters. That's why it's called Double Dash, not Mario Kart single player, because that's every Mario Kart. Anyways, what's cool about it is this isn't just any regular Mario Kart. No, this is the one with the bonus disc. I've been looking for the one with the bonus disc for a while, and I managed to get it a nice bid of $24 on this. Now, in box complete, it's actually missing the manual, but that's not going to concern me too much. I can just find the manual somewhere else. But the bonus disc version is kind of getting a little bit harder to find now because it's the bonus disc. What's on the bonus disc? I have no clue. It says playable demos on the back of it. But other than that, it's just a childhood classic, and I absolutely love it. Now, I already did have Mario Kart Double Dash. That's the thing. Problem? Mine quit working. Go figure, right? So I bought one to replace it. And I got the other one up on eBay. People actually buy discs even if they're broken. Yeah. So, like, that's it. Mario Kart Double Dash. Oh, and if you want proof it's the bonus disc, there you go. The bonus disc. Yeah, it's the second one right here. The only other games that came with the bonus disc were like Pokemon Colosseum. Or, if you have the Australian version, apparently it was Pokemon Channel that came with a Jirachi download disc. Go figure. Moving right along. The other game I got for a nice cool bid of $2.50. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy on the GameCube. Now, I know this came out on like several different systems, but in all honesty, I love the GameCube versions of most games just because I love the GameCube. Now, my GameCube collection is not as extensive as my cousin's. He's probably got like 60 or something GameCube games. The thing about GameCube games is most of them are going up. A lot of them are going up in price. Some of them are pretty pricey right now, specifically like Cubivore, which he actually got at a pretty decent price. He says it's like kind of like Pink Floyd tripping on acid. No, acid tripping on Pink Floyd. Let that set into your head. Anyways, it's just, you know, it's by Midway Games. Midway made the MLB Slugfest games and one of my all-time favorite games, Gauntlet. Gauntlet Dark Legacy being extremely hard to find on the GameCube because they had a special contract with Nintendo and it has Nintendo exclusive content. Although the Xbox version and the PS2 version are worth quite a bit as well. I happen to have the Xbox version, which we've racked up quite a few hours playing because that is just one of the best party games I've ever found in my entire life. It is so much fun and so worth getting. Anyways, moving on. Great game, great price for it too. And it's complete. And I don't know why this sticker right here says $8, but it must have been in a store of some type, but what are you gonna do? Moving on, Now, I was at work today, and I stuck up a sign on the door that said, "Back in 10." So, why did I do that? Well, I had to go to GameStop. Why did I have to go to GameStop? Well, today is September 26th, 2014. The debut of Hyrule Warriors. Hyrule Warriors. I got my copy today. I've had it paid off for about 2 or 3 weeks now, but I was so stoked to finally get it. And the fact that GameStop is literally like, I walk out of the building I work in, go down, and then just walk across the road. It's a 4-lane road. 2 lanes going one way, 2 lanes going the other, so that was kind of a... I was sweaty by the time I got back with this. But, I got it. I got my copy. So stoked to finally be able to play this after seeing the footage at E3. I didn't go to E3. I streamed it on my laptop because I don't have the money to do that. I mean, but still. It's Hyrule Warriors. It's so worth the time, to be honest. I think this is just going to be a great game overall. As far as I know, other YouTubers like Jay Witz, he said he's logged over 100 hours in it already. Not sure how he got first, but he must have played, like, Japanese version. So, now on to the next segment. Most of my games that I've gotten in the past month or so have already been integrated into my collection. I didn't feel like trying to pull them out for reference, so we're just going to go through the gems, and I'm just going to comment about the smaller ones in between. So, let's get on with it. Come on. Alright, so, this is part of my game collection. Right now, the only things you can really see is some of my Atari games, my NES collection, and my Xbox games. But we'll get to the rest later. So, a few of the gems I've found recently. Okay, first off, a story. Story time! Anyways, moving on. So, I'm coming back from school. I go to Austin Peay State University in Clarksville, Tennessee, and I stop at the local Goodwill. And I'm in there, and I walk up on these games. They have them sitting in this bin in front. All of them are $3 a piece, like all their DVDs. A little overpriced, but sometimes they got some decent games there. So the first thing I spot is this. Oddworld, Stranger's Wrath. Now, this is an Xbox exclusive game, so you're probably not going to find it anywhere else, although I think it's released on the PS3 through download. So, but the disc you're only going to find on the original Xbox. It's one of these spin-offs of the famous Oddworld series of games. You know, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, Abe's Exodus. I've also got another one. I also got Munch's Odyssey as well. It's probably my favorite video game cover of all time because it's a giant soda can. That's good. Well, for $3 this isn't bad. And it's complete. Has everything. Disc was in pretty decent shape. I had to have it resurfaced, but this is about a $10, $12 game at most. I mean, I'm not hurting any buying it, so that's a thing. But the jewel of this collection happens to be in my Xbox at the moment over here. Give me a second. Alright, I found this. Conker. Live and Reloaded. What is this, you may ask? Well, what this is, it's almost a direct port of the popular and expensive as heck N64 game Conker's Bad Fur Day, but for the Xbox. Now, it says only on Xbox, and you could be wondering, well, isn't Conker's Bad Fur Day only N64? Well, yeah, but this is the port for it. But the only reason it says only for Xbox is it had multiplayer features and Xbox Live connectivity, which, you know, isn't around anymore because it's the old Xbox. But the disc is in my Xbox, so you won't really see it. It had everything with it, including the original manual. This is about a $45 Xbox game. It's just extremely hard to find for the Xbox. It's one of the more expensive Xbox games, to be honest. There's not many Xbox games that are expensive, but this happens to be one of them. This happens to be one I've been looking for a long time. The thing about it is, I've played about 3 hours of it. This is the most vile game I've ever played in my life. There's more cursing in this than most of your repo shows on TV. It's got more cursing than True TV. All the shows on True TV put together. So, yeah. Vulgarity, sexual innuendos, poop. It's all in here if you want it. moving on. Okay, so we're going to move over to the NES section right now. This is Steve. Say hi, Steve. Steve, Suika. He's mine. Mine. Okay, so, anyways. Same area, same Goodwill. I'm walking up to the front because I had also found this. A freaking original SNES Super Scope. I am in love with this thing. And it was $3. I found this for $3 at a Goodwill. It's probably the coolest thing I've ever found at Goodwill, other than what I'm about to show you next. But I was walking up here holding this and the two games, the two Xbox games, Oddworld and Conquer, and I see this lady wheel up this cart full of stuff. Well, on top is a first generation, or first model, rather, Sega Genesis. If you don't know what a first model Sega Genesis looks like, this is pretty much what it looks like. This is one I got for free from a friend. But it was all wrapped up, had all the cords and stuff with it, but some lady had already snatched it up. They had $6 on it. I would have... Alright, sorry about that. So anyways, the lady had already snatched up the Genesis, and I look under it and I spot something that looks like the NES sleeves. You know, the little black sleeves they have with the word Nintendo on them in red. And I'm like, well, that looks interesting. Well, I'm like, hey, can I look through those? She's like, sure. I'd stand there and watch it because we were going to put them behind the counter as people steal them. I'm like, okay. 32 NES games, $1 a piece. $1 a piece. One. I bought every single one of them. And in order to save time, we're going to run through some of the more common ones that I found, and then we'll move over to the expensive ones, because I got some pretty nice gems in this collection. I pretty much doubled my NES collection. This used to be where my DS, 3DS, and Game Boy Advance games would sit, but I had to move them because I had so many NES games now. Alright, start off with some of the common ones. I'll go from A to Z in this order. So, starting with the A's, ended up getting Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Heroes of the Lance. Not bad. I forget how much it's worth. It's not a whole lot. Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Now, some of these games I know absolutely nothing about, so if you want to chime in about what they're about, if you've played them before, then feel free to do so. I'm not going to stop you. I'm good anyways. If I can get it out. Bionic Commando. Another game I'm not too familiar with, but they were all $1 a piece, so I wasn't about to let any of these out of my sight for a second. Cybernoid. Double Dragon 2. Let's see. Okay. Fox Xanadu. And I'm not sure what this game actually is, but the guy has something written on the back of it. I'm not sure what it means. It's kind of cryptic to me, but if you want to pause and take a look at this and try to figure it out, please do. I really want to know. The original Final Fantasy. I can't wait to play this, to be honest. Now, before you ask, yes, I have actually tested every single one of these games, and every single one of them worked perfectly fine. In fact, better than most of the games I have. Genghis Khan, by a company named Koei, I think, K-O-E-I. You'll see why I'm so excited about that in a minute, because I didn't know nothing about this company. Oh, I skipped over Friday the 13th. Interesting game. Ooh, I put Genghis Khan upside down. The only one that actually have the manual with it, whatever. Game. It's game. Ice Climbers, which I replaced my original Ice Climbers with because this one was in better condition. Let's see. King's Knight. Don't know much about this game either, but it's there. It's kind of cool. Little Mermaid. Why did I buy this? Because it says Capcom on it. And Capcom makes some of the best Disney NES games. Sorry you had to hear that. Nobunaga's Adventure. Again, another one of those Koei games. Interesting enough, these are pretty strategic RPGs. Pipe Dream. This is the worst condition out of all of them because I have this stupid sticker on the side of it. Turn it back around. Excuse me, Steve. Romance of the Three Kings. Again, another Koei game. I posted this on Reddit, because I'm a Redditor on there, and a guy immediately commented saying, this must be the nerdiest bunch of NES games I've ever seen in my life. And it really was. It was filled with mostly RPGs. For those of you not in the know, RPG stands for role-playing game, not rocket-propelled Grenade. Moving on. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I was told this is actually a pretty good game. It's kind of difficult. It kind of involves puzzle and strategy and adventure, so it's one of those ones that, yeah, it's not, not bad. It's not terrible. Roller games. I played this for about 15 minutes. This is really, really finicky for a game. Not sure what it does yet, though. Shingen the Ruler. Another odd RPG. I ended up with two of these, but one of them someone had taken apart, I guess to replace the battery in it or something, and all the screws were like modern day regular screws. It's kind of weird. Alright. Star Tropics. Probably one of the basics for the NES. It's not that bad. Not that bad for what it is. Get this out. Oh, no. That was from a old find. And, yeah. Super Mario Brothers 2. Not bad. I mean, it's not... You'd think the original Marios would be worth a crap load of money, but they're not, to be honest. We just like brutally on... Oh, and I also got Tetris. Because why not? And this game I absolutely hate right now. I tried playing it and I raged. Where in time is Carmen Sandiego? Why? It's actually pretty terrible. So, one of the more expensive games I found in that list. We will start with A. The Adventure of Link. Now, I already had this game, but this was in way better condition and it booted up a lot faster than my original copy did. I ended up selling my copy on eBay. I ended up selling this and 3 other games that I already owned that I replaced with copies the ones I found at Goodwill because they were just that much better. Ended up paying for this entire set, so I'm happy with that. It paid for my collection. I mean, if you can't make your collection pay for itself, then why even try? You can't just keep spending money and spending money and spending money and spending money. Anyways, yeah, $1. Can you believe that? Works perfectly and it looks immaculate. It's like nobody ever played it at all. According to my dad, it looked like nobody had ever put it in the NES at all. Alright, and I also ended up with the original Zelda. Again, I replaced my copy with it and sold my copy on eBay. So, that's a thing. Dragon Warrior 3. Now, this was kind of a shock to me. I looked it up, it's about $40 loose. And that's pretty insane for an NES game to me, to be honest, because there's not a whole lot of really expensive NES games, but there's some that are just like, I need it, but it's too much money. Sad. Anyways, $40 is how much this is, approximately, according to the video game price charting. It's pretty good, I think. They're pretty good there. And, going all up, L'Empereur, the second most expensive NES game I now own. And there is that name again, Koei. This is about a $45 NES game, apparently. And I found it for $1, and it plays, it works, it's absolutely immaculate. There's nothing wrong with this. I bet you couldn't even find a copy this good at Nintendo's archives. I mean, seriously, they have at the museum a complete in-box copy of the original Legend of Zelda at the Nintendo Museum at Nintendo World up in New York, and the box is completely tattered. I know a guy that has a perfect copy. It looks absolutely immaculate. You believe that? Anyways, moving on. And the Crown Jewel Bandit Kings of Ancient China. And once again, you see that name? Koei. $60 NES game. Yeah, I'm shocked too. I don't know why. This and L'Empereur, along with Nobunaga's Ambition and the other one, are all pretty much just RPGs. Just strategy-based RPGs. Almost like... It's almost like the game Risk. Kind of. As far as I can tell. I haven't really played that much into it. But it's a $60 NES game. I'm not going to complain about that, to be brutally honest. I'm not complaining. I would have sold them, but I like to keep some expensive games, so that way I have some expensive games that I can tell people about. Not really brag, because people can come and say, oh, I've got Little Samson. Little Samson's like $600 or something. But that's besides the point. But yeah, that made my day that day. What was ironic is the shirt I was wearing had an NES controller on it. Yeah. It was that epic. So, anyways, we're going to move on to my Super Nintendo games, which are down here. So, I haven't really bought much for the Super Nintendo lately. It's one of my favorite systems, though. It happens to be, as a cumulative total, the most expensive collection out of all my game collections. Just because I've got some pretty high-dollar items with it and whatnot, like Final Fantasy III, a couple of Mario Brothers, Yoshi's Island, this, that, and the other, Mario Kart, Super Mario Kart, blah, blah, blah. Not sure if I remember showing this last time. I ended up getting the original Pilot Wings for like $3. Not bad. SimCity cost me like $5, I think. I don't know. It's cool. I wanted the original SimCity. Got Shaq Fu. That's new. To coincide with finding the Super Scope, I ended up finding Super Scope 6. Bought this for like $3 off eBay, so it's not that bad. It was free shipping, so why not? And I also ended up getting this at the store I actually work at. Good thing about it is we can reserve games that we find for ourselves. I've got on hold Oddworld, Abe's Exodus. We actually got a copy in, and I'm going to buy that tomorrow. As soon as I cash my check. Yoshi Safari, one of the good Super Nintendo Super Scope games. And if I ever find a reprojection TV, I'm going to try this sucker out. I just got to find the receiver to it, and that's about it. I think it was $8, so it's not that terrible, but I mean, it wasn't good, it wasn't terrible either. Oh, this was also included in that dollar bunch I found at Goodwill. Super Nintendo Game Genie. Not bad, it's about $15, I think. Alright, let's see. Doop 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 doop. Blah 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 beep beep boop. Okay, so oh, I meant to say, I did pick up this for like $20 off eBay. Complete in box NES game Tailspin. It's actually got a protective cover on it right now, along with my Mickey's Mousecapade. There's the only two NES games I own that are actually complete. Everything else is just collateral after that. But what else have I gotten recently? Some stupid PS3 games, couple Xbox 360, nothing really worth writing home about. I haven't found anything on the N64 lately. Nothing for the Genesis. Nothing on my Saturn. Couple PS2 games. Not many though. I mean, I love my PS2, but it's really hard to find games for it that you actually want because there's so many of them, and some of them are just crap. Although I did find some good PlayStation 1 games. So let's take a look. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Alright, so back to my finds for the day. This is my PlayStation 1 case. It's kind of cool because it stores all my PS1 games. Anyways, I haven't really bought much for this lately. I found Pac-Man World. Found that at Goodwill for like $2.25, so it's not really that expensive. It's not crazy, but it's not bad either. Let's see. What else did I find? Ooh, yeah. Toy Story 2, one of my childhood favorite games. Got this for like $7 off eBay. It's complete. It's absolutely perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. I've actually got it in my PS2 right now. That's how much fun I'm having with it. To me, I agree with a guy named Kedikarus, and I'll probably post his link at the bottom if you haven't heard of him. But this is one of my all-time favorite PlayStation 1 games. It's also one of his all-time favorite PlayStation 1 games. And the dude's famous on YouTube. Well, maybe not extremely famous, not like Markiplier, but he's pretty famous. He's getting there. I encourage you to check him out if you want. Let's see. Pull this back out a little bit more. That's not it. That's not it. Okay. Done with that section. Ooh, yeah. My favorite Crash Bandicoot Warped. It's about a $9 game at most. It's got this for $3 at Goodwill. Not bad, not bad. I had a copy of it already, but this had everything with it, so I'm a lot happier with that. Mine was only the disc. And, oh, Crash Team Racing. I found the case to it with Crash 2 in it for $2.25, and then bought the disc separate, because I needed the disc. I actually have the PlayStation's multi-tap, where we can have it to like 4 people play at the same time, and this is one of the few games that takes up to 4 people. There's not that many that take 4 people to play. Is that it? I guess that's it in the PlayStation 1 department. I haven't really found much for it, but... Well, something just fell. Oh, yeah. Road Rash 3D. Pretty decent game. It's just kind of quirky fun. It's not really... Anyway. So, let's move over here. Or I'll just drag them out from over here. There you go. Super Smash Bros. Melee. Now, what happened was my version quit working yet again. So, I bought this along with a game called Quest 64 for the Nintendo 64, and he threw in a random NHL game for $25. The disc itself sells for like $50, which is insane. The whole game complete is like $70, something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. But this one actually works, and it actually turns out this is the an early release. Why is that significant? If you know Super Smash Bros., you know there's a trophy feature for the game. You can go view trophies from just different Mario, Nintendo franchises and whatnot. But one trophy for Daisy, if you zoom in far enough, you know you can look inside it, and you know there's nothing inside the thing. It's just hollow emptiness. But if you look at the back of her head, she has a third eye. No one knows why, but it's in this version, or this copy of the game that I have. Later versions, it had it removed because it was just creepy. But early versions still have it. I ended up getting that version. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Found this for $2.25 at Goodwill. Not crazy about it. It's Final Fantasy. I tend to pick these up every time I see them, so that's a thing. Let's see. Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh! Falsebound Kingdom. Again, just because I've been kind of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan for a while. I like the original better, but just besides the point. GameCube game. Always should use more GameCube games. Ooh, yeah, I forgot about that. 007 Nightfire. Possibly my favorite James Bond game ever, because this is probably the one I spent most of my childhood playing with my cousin. This is the same exact copy we had. And by that, I mean this is the same disc and everything we had when we played when we were younger. But I had to buy the case for it because we lost the case somehow, so I finally got it complete again, so... It's nice to see it complete. It's just so good. There's a cheat code in it. If you type in your name as Bowler, you'll unlock everyone in the game, including people such as Oddjob and like Goldfinger and Dr. No and all of them. It's pretty awesome. You can play as him. Oddjob's special attack is his hat. He throws it at someone and it kills him instantly. Oh, and last but not least, I have to go with the classic. Luigi's Mansion. I got this for about $20 off eBay, or $23, something like that. I could not resist. This is one of my all-time favorite GameCube games, probably ever. and I don't want to ever want to part with it again. I beat it in like 3 nights, about 7 hours. Well, probably less than that, to be honest. I was just dicking around and mostly looking for certain things, like, you know, like getting all the coins. Yeah, great game anyways. Alright, I just said that would be the last one, but I lied. There is one more thing, and it requires a story. You want to hear it? Well, good, you're going to hear it anyways. So, this story goes that I sell things on eBay, obviously. I'm kind of a wheeler and dealer. I like to buy and resell and put it towards something I want, etc. Anyway, I do some commission work for a friend of mine. He's got a bunch of guitars he's trying to sell. He's trying to upgrade to nothing but USA made products, so I'm helping him sell all his non-USA made guitars and whatnot. But we sold one. It was a Dean. I looked at the address and it happened to be in town. Okay, it's interesting. So what we end up doing is I end up driving the thing over there. He brings it to my house and then I drive it to the guy's house. While I get up there, I knock on the door. Out comes my rock music history professor from my first 2 years in college. Well, thinking for my sophomore year. Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, fancy meeting you again." I'm like, "Fancy meeting you again." He's like, "Well, come in." He's like, "You're the one that's delivering the guitar, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, this is kind of awkward." I'm like, "Well, yeah. You were my professor." So we just got to shooting the breeze and talking about music and blah, 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 blah. Anyways. So, I spot something in the corner of my eye. I'm like, "Where'd you get that?" I'm like, he's like, "I don't know. Probably bought it in the 90s and I probably threw whatever was in it, probably donated to Goodwill years ago. I just found the box recently." So I'm like, "Can I have the box?" He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because I have what goes with that box." He's like, "Here you go." He had the Model 2 Sega Genesis box, complete with the original cardboard insert that held like the stuff and whatnot. I got it for free. I know, it's a box, it's a boxy box, but it's my box now. And until I can find if it had any paper inserts to it, I will have a complete Model 2 Sega Genesis, which is kind of cool. This is kind of cool in itself because it talks about a lot of things. Like, look, the core system, game cartridge not included. Where do you see that anymore? Only Sega brings you these hot additions: the Menacer, the Megafire, and the 6-button arcade pad. Ooh. What's cool is they actually have the advertisement for the Sega CD on here, which is, I think, is kind of interesting. Hot games: Streets of Rage 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Cyborg Justice, Shining Force, Sports Talk Baseball. Only Sega gives you CD power for the Sega Genesis, brings you these hot editions, and has it all boxalized. More games, more options, more excitement. While I do agree that the Sega Genesis is pretty underappreciated for what it is, it does not oust the Super Nintendo as far as quality of games. I mean, the Genesis has some really nice games on it, don't get me wrong. There are some really expensive games for it too. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, I want that so bad, but I cannot find it for under $50 for some reason. Anyways, this is one of my new babies. Next to this is also one of my new babies. I absolutely am in love with the Super Scope for some reason. I'm a nerd. Go ahead and call me that. Go ahead and say it. But yeah, Sega Genesis box. It's kind of cool taking a step back in time. Catch my drift? Anyways, that's all for this episode. If you liked it, leave a comment. If you like me, subscribe below. Fave the video if you want. Give me a thumbs up. Just tell me what I could do better in the comments below if I can do anything better. And if any of you are in the business of maybe selling some game, give me a contact. I'm always looking for more from my own personal collection, to be honest. I don't resell everything. I end up getting attached to certain games. Like Death Road Rash 3D. Anyways, so... yeah. That's about it. You can go home now. Why are you still here? Seriously. Video's over. I know you're still there.
What's up, guys? It's RamenWolf485 again. I just want to thank you all for going through this really long movie with me. I know it was terribly long, and I apologize for that, but I couldn't really not cut anything out, so yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, just make sure you leave a comment, subscribe, check out my Twitter link in the thing below, and yeah, thanks for watching. It's RamenWolf485 signing off. Peace.